Hey guys, what's up? It's Sam here. Just stopping by to say hello and give you a little update on what's been happening. Now, I fooled you off the bat because this mic isn't even turned on. In fact, the mic is actually located above the camera, and that's how the iPhone 12 rumors got me feeling as well. They appear to be one thing, but I feel like they're also saying something else. How much RAM is it gonna have? Is it gonna be more expensive than last year? What's the packaging gonna look like? And even the hertz of the display. They're all gonna be answered in today's video alongside some crazy news about the next iMac, which in my heart, I still feel like it's right around the corner. You know, the redesigned one, the bigger one, the slimmer bezels one, and nobody really wants to eat wheat bread. So if you guys are excited for the video, drop a like down below, hit subscribe for more, and let's go ahead and get started. All right, so jumping into things, you've already heard the good news about what's gonna be in the box this year, which, drumroll please, is gonna be nearly nothing. Everybody, myself included, has had a hot take on this. I'm like, I see why they're doing it. It's because it's gonna get you to buy more stuff in the future, but I also don't necessarily agree. According to Concept's iPhone, who doesn't actually have a rated track record yet because nothing they've shared has been able to be verified so far, they claim to have gotten their hands on the packaging, and it does look a little bit different. Not only does this packaging look a bit more recyclable than it's ever been, which would absolutely line up with the argument that Apple is going to sell less stuff in the box as way better for the environment in every way. It's actually a good thing for the world, so I don't have a problem with that, but I do feel like it's getting a bit minimalistic out here, all right? There's a room for what looks to be the quick start materials. Seems like Apple's gonna be shrinking them down in the front, and then in the back, obviously a little area for the cable to be coiled up. It's not a lot you're gonna be getting in the box this year, which leads us into my next point that make me question why I even do YouTube videos about Apple as a company. According to Jeff Poo, who is 60% accurate, so I have some doubts about this one, he's claiming that even with everything that's happening in the box of the iPhones this year, Apple's still gonna raise prices. Well, that's just swell, isn't it? That's very swell to hear. That not only are we getting less than ever before, but we'll be paying more potentially than ever before for our phone. I don't think this is gonna happen, and I'd love to have a discussion about this in more detail as to how you ran these numbers, but I'm just using my brain here. I don't think this is gonna happen. The curveball of this one for me, though, is that just a couple years ago, in 2018, the iPhone XR started at $749, and that's what we're hearing the base price for the iPhone 12 series would be this year in 2020, even though the iPhone 11 went down $50 in price. And if Apple actually would remove stuff from the box and raise prices, I think a lot of people are genuinely not gonna buy the new phone. Like, I know a lot of people will be like, well, iPhone users, they're ride or die. Yeah, I agree, but to an extent. Like, if you're raising prices and not giving people a charger, and your CEO is making $130 million a year, I'm starting to fail to where even the biggest fanboy inside of me is gonna be like, just keep smiling, I love Apple. My phone's great. And if Apple does include no charger and no headphones in the box, what are they gonna do? Just not offer a charger at all? No, of course they're gonna be selling something separately. And while I'd figured previously it would just be like, you know, the 18-watt adapter for a couple bucks, Apple is actually upgrading the adapter to look like this. So this is courtesy of the cat person on Twitter. Mr. White. I don't know the leak. I don't know how to follow this stuff anymore. I mean, we got cat emojis, we got anime girls telling us what to do. I'm having a hard time keeping focus. And even though Mr. White doesn't have a very good track record, they have shared some really cool photos of what appears to be a prototype charger that's transparent. Now, is the actual one going to look like this? No, but they've also shared like an image of a 20-watt adapter when it's fully complete. So the batteries this year are supposed to be getting a little bit bigger, so it makes sense Apple will up the wattage just a little bit so that you can buy this separately to charge your phone faster. Now, again, I don't agree with this. I think a charger, especially on a $1,000 iPhone, should come in the box. You know, that's just something that I believe in. And this brings us into the debate about the display on the Pro. Now, we've heard a lot of good things that the Pro is gonna have, like a LiDAR sensor and a higher price tag. And one of the flagship features for that device is supposed to be a 120 hertz display, the same one on the iPad Pro. So it's essentially gonna look twice as smooth when you scroll. Sources are becoming pretty split on whether or not that's actually going to be happening. So everything Apple Pro and Max Weinbach, they no longer believe that this is going to be happening, which I seriously doubt considering the fact that Max's track record isn't that great when it comes to Apple leaks. Samsung, totally different story, but 40-something%. That's considering that Digitimes, Ice Universe, and a number of other people now have said Apple is going to do this. I think John Prosper even said 120 hertz was going to be coming. Like, I know Apple may be running into some development issues, but I really think that if they ship a phone yet another year without a 120 hertz screen or anything above 60 hertz, it's going to make people not want to buy it, like myself included. I don't see the benefit to buy the Pro phone over the 12 if the screens yet again will be identical, especially since everything's going OLED. Look at what the entire industry has gone to. They've been able to do it. They've been able to make it happen. I find it incredibly unrealistic that Apple, of all companies, still can't figure out this technology. But hey, there are going to be some other huge upgrades for the Pro, including the biggest RAM upgrade we've ever seen in the iPhone. Now, you're not going to believe me when I tell you this, but what if I tell you this is a rumor from our boy Love to Dream, our favorite leaker here? Well, the standard iPhone 12s are going to retain the 4 gigabytes of RAM that they've had since 2019. The iPhone 12 Pro is taking no hostages. They are just, knocking heads off of people for this one because I don't know how they're obtaining this much RAM, but apparently they're going to have 6 gigs. 6 gigs of RAM. That is as much as the iPad Pro has, and that's going to be in the Pro phone. So I don't know if they're using that for like LiDAR data or there's some part of the phone that necessitates that, because usually Apple only goes up a gig a year, if at all. So 6 gigs, I mean, stay strapped for that one because I don't know how they're obtaining that much RAM, but that's going to be insane. Like, what do you even do with 6 gigabytes of RAM? And I don't even think the iPhone 12 Pro needs that, but I'm happy it's coming. I mean, maybe they're like, we'll just put a bunch of RAM in here since the display isn't going to make the cut. But again, I think the display is going to make the cut. And guys, moving on to the Mac now, I had to take off my hat for this one. I'm sorry to tell you that the MacBook Air is not going to make it through 2020. Now, listen, we're not sure if it contracted COVID from a lot of other people not wearing their mask outside. Listen, wear your mask outside. But according to Sonny Dixon, it's going to be discontinued. Now, before you do that, before you say Apple's just the worst, they've really single-handedly taken everything away that I love, hold yourself together for a second. It's actually going to be way better this way. Because Apple's really going to be slimming down the MacBook line. I mean, when they put the Apple Silicon inside both the 13-inch MacBook Pro and the 13-inch MacBook Air, these computers are going to be so similar in capabilities, it doesn't make sense for one of them to survive. So Apple's going to be upgrading the 13-inch MacBook Pro to a 14-inch screen size and then retaining the 16-inch MacBook Pro size that they've had for about a year now. So just 14 and 16-inch MacBooks are going to be available, and apparently they're not going to be called Pro or Air. The Air is going away entirely through discontinuation, and the Pro is going to be morphed into something called just MacBook or the new MacBook. That's apparently Apple's internal thinking right now. And further evidence for this just came out today that the very first computer from Apple with an ARM processor, Apple Silicon inside, guess what it's going to be? No, it's not the MacBook Air. It's a lower end 13-inch MacBook Pro, which I actually believe is going to be a 14-inch. I don't think they're going to put an ARM chip in the same design as the last computer, but we'll have to wait and see on that detail. But if you're like me, maybe, okay, MacBook cool. What if you're waiting on a new iMac? All right, listen, I know everybody's hearts were broken at WWDC when the same source, Sonny Dixon, had said it was going to be available, the new iMac at WWDC, and it wasn't. Apparently, it's still coming soon, and we've actually got some better news about it. So we already knew that the 21.5-inch version, the lower end new iMac, was going to have thinner bezels, iPad Pro design language, but now we're hearing it could go actually up to 24 inches. So it'll be a screen size between 23 and 24 inches diagonally. But now we have information about the higher end version, because I was thinking all along, if the 21-inch version was going to 23, surely Apple wouldn't just keep around the 27-inch iMac, and they're not. That's going up between 30 and 32 inches diagonally, which is absolutely huge. So what I think Apple's going to do is literally just etch out this bezel over here. Let me turn it up. I don't know if this helps you see the bezel or not, but they're going to be etching it out. So it's going to just be this probably similar form factor. That's what they're suggesting, but much, much thinner bezels. What they say are Pro Display XDR-like. And just for reference, so we can get, really excited here, let me show you the bezels on the Pro Display XDR. Those are thin. Those are really, really thin. I am so hyped for this computer. I don't know how else to say it. Like, the second that comes out, I am ordering that new iMac because this design is so outdated. And also, genuinely, I've been looking to buy a new iMac. So it's the perfect time. And we've heard that apparently it might not be coming until Q4 now. I still feel like it's going to be coming a little bit sooner than that. But we're not entirely sure at this point. Like the iMac, Apple's been switching their plans with it a lot, it seems like, but I mean, the 32-inch version sounds like it's going to be the best computer Apple's arguably ever made. And that's the T. broskies. That's what we got for today's update. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you learned something new. Hope you're wearing your mask outside. Just your friendly reminder that that is still really important. So that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like down below. Hit subscribe for more. And I will catch all of you in my next video. Thanks for watching. You guys are the best. Peace out.